very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. Today, it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store between the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings. 2 1-1 teams here, each looking to move over 500, and we're underway here in week 3. Taken from about the 12. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Past the 20. Touchdown, Detroit. He returns the kick 88 yards to the house. And the Lions will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. On is Mason Crosby for the point after. It's up, it's good, and the Lions lead 7-0.
Lions 7, Vikings 0.
So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. Kenewagu now out of his end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18.
Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he'll take this one up to about the 23. The corner, Perry Nickerson, had the tackle.
Well, this defense for the Lions, much improved from week 1. They were terrific last week in getting their guys their first win of the season.
And that's not the half of it. They forced 7 turnovers in that game, and I know we always talk about turnovers coming in bunches once you force the first one. But 7? That seems almost impossible, but we watched it happen.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
And just like he did, almost winning the Heisman in Michigan, rookie Aiden Hutchinson blows up the play. Well, last game he had 2 sacks, got another one here, picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line. Well, fair to say that when you're looking at guys that can run like the wind, you often find them at the wide receiver position, and that was special there.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And if you're wondering just how fast he was going, Next Gen Stats says 21.8 miles per hour. The Vikings are 1-1 through 2 games thus far. It's not a start that's going to set the world on fire, but they've been pretty solid nonetheless.
And the first thing that crosses my mind is certainly beats the alternative of starting 0-2. I do think that this is a team that's going to take a little time to find its footing. Hard to navigate the always tough NFL.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Whenever I see a drop like that, I have to kind of take a step back and check myself a little bit. So used to seeing those big guys make big-time spectacular plays that when they drop one, I have to remind myself, we ask a lot out of these guys. Block and catch the football, not easily done in today's NFL.
Play action now. Cousins. And that will be incomplete. Some mistakes already in the first quarter. If he holds on to that one, first down.
Yeah, and I guarantee you that at least one defensive back out there has reminded him of that fact, trying to get into his head and hoping that'll affect him the rest of the game.
Well, they started the drive back to pretty deep in a nice effort to overcome the field position, get into field goal range on the game's opening possession.
And Brandon, I think from where they started, the initial thought was, can we get 1 or 2 first downs and help out our defense after we pump the ball away with field position? But as that drive went on, I think their sights got set a little bit higher. They were thinking touchdown, ended up settling in between and coming away with a field goal.
First and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
Goff and this Lions offense set for a 1st and 10 at their own 21. They'll start on the ground with Swift.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll stay on the ground with Swift. A solid stiff arm. And some space here. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
That's into a crowd and intercepted.
Picked off by Harrison Smith.
And the Vikings are going to take possession as they got it at the 42-yard line.
If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Following the interception, Cousins. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. It'll be a gain of 5 at his 2nd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
And this shot downfield on 2nd down is brought in. They'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A gain there of 30 big ones. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Cousins gives way to Cook. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Play fake. Cousins. And his throw here is incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To throw, Cousins. This is caught. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen. His 2nd touchdown on the season.
And the Vikings have taken the lead. Joseph connects on the extra point.
And the lead is now 10-7.
Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. This one taken just inside the 10. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
10-7 our score after one right here on EA Sports.
So now following the sack, often the Lions needing to come up with something here on 3rd and long.
They'll look to throw here. Got a man and he hits him in stride. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Goff a handoff here to Swift.
Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They didn't want to crash in the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
And some pretty strong running there as he'll take this across the 50 and down to the 44. 51 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times. On 1st and 10, it's Swift.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Give the tackle there to Daniil Hunter.
We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Oh, that's good decision-making right there. Understood down and distance. Knew it wasn't 3rd down, and he still had another opportunity to earn the 1st down. Good job throwing it away and avoiding an interception.
Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Goff. And this is going to be incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
On 4th down, Jack Fox on to punt for Detroit.
It'll be just an 18-yard punt.
And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10.
At their own 22-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
On 1st and 10, Cousins.
And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap. He locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Working out of the gun, Cousins.
And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
The defender certainly didn't forget about him leaking out of the backfield. There was a guy ready and waiting to pick him up in coverage, and that throw had no shot.
So now 3rd and 10. They had the big play to start the drive, but 2 incompletions since. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
So on 4th down, Ryan Wright on to punt for Minnesota.
And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks.
And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football.
And Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
First down, here's Cousins. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. It's complete to Cook. Touchdown, Vikings.
Dalvin Cook,
30 yards.
And the Vikings are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Joseph connects on the extra point.
And his guys will take a 10-point lead.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And we will not see a run back here from Harris.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football.
So now following the sack, Goff and the Lions needing to come up with something here on 3rd and long. A play fake for Swift. Now Goff.
He's got a man complete.
And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
We always talk about the guy who paid off the play, don't we? The guy who caught it or ran it. But how about the elements that go into making a big play? This one in particular, able to scan the field, pocket held up nice.
And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the 50, it's gone. Wright's got it. Room here to run.
And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
Here we go on 4th. Goff. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with the football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Lions turned away on 4th down. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And with good starting field position and 3 timeouts as well in their pocket, no reason not to try and put a late scoring drive together. Quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
This is what defensive coaches ask of their defenders every single ball game. Get a hand on every throw and coverage. They want the deflections. They want the knockaways. Pick it yourself if you can, but at least knock it down and guarantee it's incomplete.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. And they'll send the slot in motion left. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Cousins. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down.
Multiple defenders getting home there for a loss of 11.
Brings up 3rd down.
So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota with the Vikings on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3.
Jack Fox to kick off for the Lions.
The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half.
Nwangu now from his end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
Now on 2nd and 13. Cousins. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
Oh, going for Jefferson downfield.
And he fires one that's intercepted.
Picked by Jeff Okudah.
That is just what this defense was hoping for, an interception on the opening possession of this third quarter.
Obviously didn't want to surrender a touchdown and fall even farther behind, and we've gotten to know this team a little bit, haven't we? Couldn't you just see their defensive leaders telling the offensive guys, telling the quarterback, don't worry, we got you to start things off. You take it from there.
Throwing to start the drive, but that went incomplete.
Well, they certainly knew their challenge as this series began, and they got to stop on play number 1. Goal now, get 2 more stops and limit the damage to a field goal.
And yet again, Goff is intercepted.
And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
This defense, Charles, coming up with another interception. They have really done an excellent job of locking up these receivers.
Yeah, they're really on fire. They are actually doing what they talk about all the time, which is plastering to receivers when they're in their zones. They didn't give up a touchdown in the first half. Haven't done so here in this half either. Blanketed the field, going all the way back to the opening drive, and they come up with a pick right there.
They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
2nd down, they go right back to Cook.
And he's up past the 10 to about the 12. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
On 3rd and 1, here's Cousins. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. 14 yards through the air, caught the D off guard on 3rd and 1.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, They almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
This ball tipped, and it's going to be incomplete. Fortunate maybe to get that back. It's third down.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Cousins. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part to get them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Lions will take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
And he's got room. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
Now a give, right side, Swift.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
Right back to Swift again on 2nd down. And a good job of finding the open space to run as he's down close to the 30 here. 70 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Well, as we've learned over the years, just because a guy plays left tackle doesn't mean he doesn't have run-blocking abilities, and we just saw it there. Controlled the line of scrimmage, created a big gain.
That's kind of a bonus. He's there to protect that high value that you have back under center, but he creates space in the run game.
Yeah, not only can he dance, he can mash, too.
And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. Off play action. Here's Goff. This is caught. 3 yards is the gain that time. 2nd and goal.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
They'll run it with Williams. And he's not going to push his way forward. He's going to be stopped at the 2-yard line. On 3rd and short to give to the tight end. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit.
Brock Wright, his first rushing touchdown on the year. And the Lions are able to get a score back in the final stages of this 3rd quarter.
Crosby with the extra point, and the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14.
Lions 14. Jeff Fox to kick off for the Lions.
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away.
Nuwanger now from his end zone.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Their lead down to a field goal now as they start with a 1st and 10.
They start the drive with Cook. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Three quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. From the gun, here's Cousins.
Throw left side, taken in by Jefferson.
That'll go for a gain of 7. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break.
Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. It's the linebacker, Alex Anzalone, and he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. This game, it's been defensively oriented on both sides, so I guess it stands to reason that the play of the game comes on defense.
So it's my kind of game. You know that. Anytime we have a defensive battle, but that, as you said, it stands to reason that's the way the game tilted. Someone had to make a big play, and the way the defenses were dominating, that's exactly what we got.
Nuwangu now from his end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
And they have to try and move past that pick 6 because now they're dealing with a 4th quarter deficit. And the 3rd interception thrown by Cousins.
Wow, between last week and this week, that's now 8 interceptions. 5 a week ago, now 3 here.
Well, he is so lucky that one of the defense coordinators I played for, a man named Ken Donahue, is not there right now. Because he saw that happen during his coaching career, and he grabbed a quarterback in the midst of a streak like this and said, tell you what, son.
Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted.
And the Vikings are right back in this football game.
A critical error there in a tight game in the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter. Turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Here's Cousins. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. He'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down. Cousins. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Lions are going to take possession of the football. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost like they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here.
Williams again.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Jamal Williams, his first touchdown here of the new campaign.
And the Lions are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead.
Crosby connects on the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 11. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Nuwangu now from his end zone. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And the script really is flipped for them. The momentum on the other sideline, and now they have to try and battle back from a 2-score deficit.
And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd. Another try after the first down sack. Cousins. It'll go as a gain of 4. And it'll be a third and about 13.
A gain of 4 brings up
Throwing. Cousins. Throw left side on target to Thielen. And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the first at about the 21. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that'll bring up 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Goff. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll send a receiver here in motion right. To throw again on 2nd down. Goff.
Oh, that'll be incomplete. Oh, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them hungry.
No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And the Vikings pick up the football. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. 10. And hold everything here. This one is not over yet. They return it for the touchdown.
They continue to fight, don't they?
The Vikings will line up for a 2-point conversion.
Now Cousins. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. They had the big play on the fumble return. They were looking for the 1-2 punch, but they couldn't get that 2-point conversion.
And I have to wonder, were they scheduled to go ahead and kick the extra point, but after a play like that, you talk about the 1-2 punch, right? It's a momentum play. Go for 2 and really try to capitalize, and that's what they attempted.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
Only needing 2 yards on 2nd down. Once again, it's Swift.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as it comes with exactly a minute to go in the football game. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Harris. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on first down. Goff going to throw it. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12.
They'll run right here with Swift.
And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave him with still about 8 or 9 to go on 3rd down.
Well, somebody lit a fire under that offense during the break, Charles. Remember, they trailed at intermission. They come out, they have the big second half, and that lifts them to the victory.
And Brandon, trailing at halftime, we always talk about